King Jesus, King Jesus. Okay. Hey, I've entitled this video, Terror Alert. There's a clear and present danger to black youth from the police. Over the past few days, I've reported on a couple of cases where police have executed children, black children. One was a 7-year-old girl. In this index case, it's reported in Raw Story that a Louisiana deputy fatally shot a 14-year-old 4 or 5 times in the back, according to his family. It says Louisiana State Police were investigating on Wednesday after a Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's deputy fatally shot a 14-year-old boy. It says Louisiana State Police Trooper Evan Harrell said that deputies responded at around 6 p.m. on Tuesday to a 911 call alleging that armed individuals were seen running into an abandoned home in Uma Village East neighborhood. Now, I question that whole thing because there's been a spate of cases where police have said that somebody called to report that individuals were armed that were never armed. And they seem to use that as a justification for their murders. It says in the article, the first deputy to enter the home reportedly shot the boy. Harold said that a weapon was found in close proximity to the dead body. Why wasn't the weapon on the body or in his hands? They're lying. It says Harold would not say where or how many times the boy was shot. The individual that was fatally wounded, his family, everybody deserves a proper investigation, and that's what we're here to do, Harold insisted. And until we get everything nailed down, squared away, we'll be out here as long as it takes. That's a bullshit statement. His family want to know now what happened to their son. They don't want to wait to some grand jury investigation or some bullshit police investigation. They want to know exactly how many times their son was shot, where did they find the gun, etc., etc. It says the family of the boy, who was identified him as 14-year-old Cameron Tilman, said that he was shot 4 or 5 times in the back. Tillman's brother Andre said that his brother heard a knock at the door of the abandoned home and opened it because he thought it was a joke. So now the kids were playing in the abandoned home. They were playing. His brother says he thought it was a joke. So obviously they were playing. Andre says his little brother thought somebody was just clowning because somebody's always clowning by the door. So they were playing there often. He opened the door and the man just shot him and didn't have nothing. My brother didn't have nothing in his hands. Tillman's aunt told WWL-TV that her nephew would never have been holding a gun. He wouldn't even hold a BB gun, she said. That's the type of kid he was. He wouldn't hold a BB gun, better yet, a water gun. But to have a real gun and apparently point it at a cop or something, no. Michael Lagarde, one of Cameron Tilman's teachers at Ellender High School, noted that the teen had taken off a year from playing sports to focus on his studies. He had heard all the hype about high school and just wanted to concentrate on his grades for the first year, Lagarde said. The police spokesman, Harrell, said that 2 juveniles and an 18-year-old had been taken into custody following the shooting. Authorities were searching for a fifth person who was thought to have escaped through the back door of the abandoned home. Officials had not released the name of the deputy involved in the shooting. So they're trying to protect a lot of information here because they know that this was a murder. Plain and simple. Let's look at some of the video from this.
14-year-old homeless teenager, a Cameron Sheriff's deputy. A shooting happened at around 6 o'clock last night on Kirkland Loop. Deputies were responding to calls that several people were running into an abandoned home. What happened once deputies arrived on the scene is not clear, but at some point, the 14-year-old was shot and pronounced dead on the scene. Troopers say that a gun was found in close proximity of the teen. He was identified by family members as Cameron Tilman. Tilman's aunt disputes claims that Tilman would have anything to do with a gun.
When you hold a BB gun, that's the type of kid he was. He wouldn't hold a BB gun. Better yet, a water gun. But to have a real gun and a parent point at a cop or something? No.
Family members say Tilman was a freshman student at Ellender High School. He was a good kid and a good student, even making the honor roll. 3 others were arrested at the scene, and a 5th suspect who fled the scene is still wanted by authorities. The name of the deputy involved in that shooting has not been released yet.
So they're calling the kid the suspect when the police are the ones that killed the kid. The police are the suspects. If they're playing in an abandoned building, what are they suspect for? Playing? They're suspected of playing in an abandoned building, abandoned home, in their neighborhood. You know, it's silly, the kinds of things they say. It's silly, real silly. Now, I discovered this Facebook page that's been put up by the police. It says Justice for Cameron Tilman, but it's obviously a way to control the Facebook information on this case. I posted an article, a comment. Let's see, this is it. I said, from what I've seen, I do not believe this child had a gun, and I believe the police are straight up lying. If they found a gun, the police are the ones who planted it. Since it is not found on the child's body, they should have not only reported the officer's name, if he is indeed black, just like they reported the name of Darren Wilson, as this shooting is more egregious, so that the claims that it was a black officer can be easily confirmed, as initial reports say 2 officers were involved. They also do not report how many times the child was shot and how they know whose bullet killed him. I suspect the police are straight up lying. So that's my comment. Now, here's another report. It says that Louisiana Sheriff's deputy fatally shoots 14-year-old boy. So I don't stick to the exact copyright of these reports because they all seem to be racist to me. But it says Cameron Tilman was a high school freshman, shot dead Tuesday after police responded to an abandoned house in Houma, in Terrebonne Parish. 3 others were arrested and 1 person escaped. They say it's unclear if Tilman was armed. This is bullshit. They know it's a planted weapon. They make movies about how police plant weapons. Anyway, let me
Good evening, everyone. I'm First Strike.
Let me run this video.
Stories in a moment. First, we have breaking news out of Houma, where a teenager was shot and killed by a Terrebonne County Sheriff's deputy tonight. WGN News anchor Vanessa Milano joins us from the scene with the latest. Vanessa.
been lots of unanswered questions tonight, but what we do know is that right now Louisiana State Police have been called in to investigate a shooting here in East Houma involving a Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's deputy. Now take a look at the scene. Louisiana State Police telling us a deputy was responding to a call of several armed suspects in an abandoned home on the Kirkland roof. Now they tell us that when that
I had to stop that because they're saying now it's escalated. The report escalated that there were several armed suspects. Of what? Suspected of what? And with several guns. I mean, this is bullshit.
deputy arrived, something happened that resulted in the shooting of a 14-year-old boy. That boy is now dead. State police say a weapon was recovered in close proximity to the 14-year-old, but they aren't going into many specifics.
Until we get all the ballistics done properly, we're not going to release that information. I can say that the 5 suspects in the actual building itself, one of them did escape out the back, and 3 are in custody. There are 2 juveniles.
He calls them suspects without saying what they're suspects of. They're suspect. They're the danger, not only to kids, but to everybody.
And 1 18-year-old.
Now, as you heard right now, 1 suspect is on the run, 3 others in custody. We're told the 3 are being questioned right now, as well as the officer.
It really makes the kids sound like criminals. A kid on the run from the police. This is bullshit. Narcotics Task Force. What the fuck they need Narcotics Task Force for?
At that live, you can see here a lot of activity still going on. This happened here around 6 p.m., just before 6 p.m. We're told by several neighbors here, we're told by some family members, some people who knew the family, that this 14-year-old was Cameron Tilman, that he was a good student, that he liked to play sports, and that they are all very curious as to know exactly what unfolded here, what happened that led to his death.
You bitch, they not curious. You bitch.
It is related to Houma. Right back to you.
I will always be here those circumstances. Vanessa Delano reporting live for us from home tonight on PNS.
Well, folks, I just want to comment here that the police are clear and present danger to black kids in America. They're the terrorists. We need not be concerned about some terrorists in the Middle East because they're actually killing our children and our men and women right here in the United States. And President Obama was correct in mentioning it before the UN.